Be patient with me. I am in my terrible 20s. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey there, it is really nice to meet you. So this video is for anybody going into their 20s, or you're already in your 20s and you need some life advice. So I'm turning 27 on Sunday. My birthday lands on Mother's Day this year, which is pretty cool. To think that I only have 3 years left of my 20s is actually insane. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I have it all figured out, because I don't. I'm not even close. But these are 10 life lessons that I have learned over the course of my 20s. The thing is, being in your 20s is hard. If you think about it, it's literally the first 10 years of your life that you're an adult. You're figuring things out as you go, and it can be very hard, very chaotic, very confusing. There is a lot to learn and figure out. You're literally discovering yourself as an adult and figuring out the adult world. So let's go over the 10 life lessons that I think are really important. The first thing is you need to realize that you're going to fail, but that it's okay. Not to freak anyone out, but literally failing is part of the process. It is the process of learning and growing and how you get better at anything that you're going to do in life. You probably won't get your dream job right away. When you do get your job, you're probably going to make mistakes while you learn the ropes. You're probably going to make bad decisions that you're going to learn from. You'll most likely say the wrong thing at the wrong time. And even though it's embarrassing, you're going to learn from all of these really uncomfortable mistakes that are embarrassing, or you're probably going to think it's the end of the world. The most important thing is when you make these mistakes, you own it. You say, okay, that was really embarrassing. That was really uncomfortable, but I know what I did wrong, and I'm going to change it. I'm going to learn from it. And then all of a sudden, you get a promotion at work. You get your dream job. You're making the right decisions. You're saying all the right things. You're propelling forward because you've learned to accept your mistakes and learn from it. So just remember, you're going to make mistakes, and it's okay as long as you accept them so you can learn from them. You need to focus on your path and not theirs. What I mean by that is everyone is on their own separate journey, and each one is so unique. Being in your 20s is so weird because you could still be at the first job that you got, while somebody that you graduated high school with is at a corporate job, they're married with 2 kids. And suddenly you feel like you're behind in life because you're not where they are at. Honestly, that's how I feel right now, so just know that you're not alone if you feel like this too. The thing is, your life doesn't have to look like their life. Your life won't look like their life. Focus where you want your life to be. What's your dream job? What are your life goals? Are you going to be somebody who goes out to party on the weekends, or are you going to stay home and watch Netflix and focus more on self-care? There's no wrong answer, by the way, because this is literally your life. You get to make your own path. So focus on what you want and stop focusing so much on what their life looks like. Practicing gratitude will literally change your life. Hear me out. It is so easy to take all these little things in our life for granted, especially if you're somebody in the state of mind of, oh my gosh, my life sucks. I've been there. But let's try something. Let's do a little visualization. You wake up in the morning, and before even thinking about how stressful today is going to be, you realize how amazing it is that you even woke up today. That you have a bed that you woke up in. How amazing your coffee smells when it's brewing. You look out the window and you see a beautiful sunrise. You go outside and you feel fresh air on your face. You hop in the shower getting ready for your day and you realize how nice it is that you have hot water. All of these little days that we experience every single morning, we don't really think about it. We get so caught up in the stress and the schedules that we don't think about how amazing these little things in our life are. So just try to be more mindful about taking a second and being grateful for these little things that maybe you haven't really thought about in a while. Practicing gratitude will literally just change your whole mood for the entire day. It'll change how you view your life. The moves that you're afraid to make could literally change your entire life. There are a lot of big changes that we probably want to make in our 20s, but they are so big and so scary that we eventually just make excuses not to make them. Whether it's starting a new business, asking for a raise, changing your career, moving across the country, or it could be asking that certain person out. Whatever it is, the worst thing that could happen is it doesn't work out. But the best thing that could happen is it does work out and you get everything that you want. Hold on, can you actually imagine? You make that first move. You push through all of the hard stuff, all of the uncomfortableness, and all of a sudden, you have a business that is making millions. You got your raise and a promotion. You changed your career and now you're finally happy. You move across the country and life is amazing. You get the person that you've had a crush on for years. If your heart just sped up and you realized, yes, I want that, that's your sign. Go get it. The way you talk to yourself matters. I've talked about this in another video, but sometimes we realize that our confidence is so low because of the way that we've been talking to ourselves and we don't even realize it. You shouldn't be belittling yourself. If you're like, oh, I'm so fat, I'm stupid, I'm ugly, I'm not worth it, I have no friends, I can't do it, you better stop it. Do you realize how much power our own words hold? We're going to believe everything that we tell ourselves, and we're going to put ourselves in a position where we're just stagnant and we believe all these things that we say, and it will actually ruin us. It almost ruined me until I've made this change. So, you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to tell yourself how amazing you look today. If you catch yourself saying, oh my gosh, I'm so ugly, we're like, just kidding. I am a gorgeous human. I am capable of whatever I want to achieve. I have a killer body. I am so dang successful and I am so proud of myself. Even if you're not where you want to be yet, keep telling yourself these things and you're going to start believing it and you will see that positive change. I promise. Because nothing gets done by telling yourself that you're so stupid. Because you're not going to learn from that, you're not going to grow. But if you keep telling yourself how freaking smart you are and how beautiful you are, your confidence will propel you into believing that you really are that smart. You will get smarter, you will get your freaking dream body because you're inspired to get it. And besides, you are capable of everything that you want to achieve. I believe it. So it's time for you to believe it too. Happy should be the end goal. Okay, if somebody offered you $10 million in a fancy mansion to live in, but they told you you still wouldn't be happy, would you take it? I feel like a lot of you just said yes. I know, it's kind of hard to believe, well, how could I have that and not be happy? But we see this all the time in Hollywood. These celebrities that seem to have it all because they're like millionaires and billionaires and they have all these fancy cars and they have a huge house and they have people working for them and it looks like they have it so easy because they have all of these materialistic things. But what if you had all this money and this big house, but you had no one? You were lonely. You didn't have good relationships. You weren't confident in yourself. You didn't have self-love. You had no goals, no more ambition. You didn't have any hobbies. But at least you had money to buy things with. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Would it be nice to have $10 million and a big house and be happy? Of course it would. But at the end of the day, I would rather just be happy, have a small house, have just enough in the bank account to be comfortable. If that meant I was actually happy at the end of the day, I had good relationships, I had all these hobbies to keep me occupied and busy. At the end of the day, happy should be the end goal, not just being rich. That would be nice. But there are so many other things that we should be making a priority instead. You need to set your boundaries and do not apologize for them. So there are different types of boundaries. There are physical, mental, sexual, time, and financial. In your 20s, you are learning who you are, what makes you feel comfortable and safe, and what doesn't. What you're willing to put up with and what you aren't. What you are willing to do and what you're not. These are where your boundaries come in. The biggest part of boundaries is learning to say no. So learning to say no was my biggest issue in the past, but it is so crucial. If you just say yes to everything, regardless of how it makes you feel, you are going to put yourself in a really bad position. You shouldn't have to put up with feeling uncomfortable or unsafe just because you think that your friends or peers are going to judge you, make fun of you, or whatever the case may be. For example, if your friends are going to a party that you know the environment you are not going to feel safe in, you should be saying no. And your friends, if they are real true friends, should respect that. If there's a conversation going on that makes you feel really uncomfortable, excuse yourself. If you're being disrespected in a friendship or relationship over and over again, even after trying to fix it, it's time to leave. Boundaries are about what you need to feel secure in your life in all aspects. And don't apologize for them. If something is working out for you, even if others think it's dumb or silly, keep doing it. Okay, so for me personally, I love making wishes on 11/11, and like I mentioned before, I love positive affirmations. I believe in it. And just because some other people may think it's dumb or silly and there's no scientific facts about them, doesn't mean that I'm going to stop doing it, because for me, they work. We all have our own process and things that we like to believe in that work for us. And we shouldn't be letting others be telling us that, oh, we shouldn't be doing it because it's stupid. It doesn't actually work, because if it does work for you, then those opinions do not matter. This is your life. We're going to get a little deep and personal here. Life doesn't owe you. And just because you had a rough past, that doesn't give you the excuse to treat others poorly. So, a little backstory. I had a rough childhood. I grew up around addicts, and I was in foster care for about 3 years. So what I noticed about the addicts in my life is they had a rough childhood too. But they had this mentality of, well, because this happened to me, life owes me. And that led to really bad decision making, and they treated people in their life really poorly. They believed because all the bad things that happened to them, life needs to hand them everything that they want now. Life doesn't work that way, right? I am so grateful that I recognized this when I was younger and I went a different path. I didn't let myself repeat those mistakes that I saw day and day and day again. It is so important to realize that just because these bad things are happening, that doesn't mean life is going to owe you anything. I'm not saying it's fair, because it's not, but it is our jobs to turn life around for us. Which brings me to life lesson number 10. You have the power to rewrite your story. When we're born, life is out of our control. Whatever we go through, we don't have a choice in any of that, really. You have control of everything that happens from you moving forward. Sure, there are some things that will be thrown at you that are out of your control, but for the most part, we get to decide where we want to be in life. Despite whatever we went through as children or whatever you're going through right now, we can pave a new and better path for ourselves. What do we want our future to look like? Who do we want to be surrounded by? How do we want to start our mornings? How do we want to end our days? What hobbies do we want to enjoy? What is our dream job? What is it going to take to make sure that we are happy? Write all of this down and then think about what is the step that we need to take right now to get that all started. Alright, you guys, I know I kind of ended that on a little bit of a deeper level, but you know, life is not perfect and being in your 20s is messy and confusing. So I hope I was able to give you guys some good tips, some good thought-provoking insight, and I hope you guys will be leaving this video feeling a little bit more confident and secure in how to make that next step in your 20s. Just remember, you are going to make mistakes. You are not alone in this journey. We are all in this together. I love you guys so much. Thank you for sticking around and watching this video. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.